Good afternoon, everyone. We're here to show you our teaching demonstration. We are the Group 3 presenting our teaching demonstration about embroidery and 10 sample stitches. But before that, let us all define what is embroidery. Embroidery is the handicraft of decorating fabric or other materials with needle, thread, or yarn. Embroidery may also incorporate other materials such as metal, strips, pearls, beads, quills, and sequins. It is also a method used for decorating fabrics with a needle and a thread. What is the benefit of embroidery in our life? Embroidery is a handicrafts that we can do to earn or make money if we sell our handworks. It can also provide freedom from stress and anxiety. Because keeping your hands busy and engaged in your embroidery keeps your thoughts focused on the enjoyment, beauty, and satisfaction of the task at hand. Now, let's start to learn the 10 different sample stitches that we can use to create embroidery design. But before that, let us all know what materials are needed in creating stitches for embroidery. The first one is the needle, the embroidery floss, the hoop, and the fabric, which we are using the fabric called canvas.
The French knot is a decorative stitch used to create one or more small knots or dots on a ground material. The stitch is made by bringing the thread through the ground material at the spot where the knot is required. The thread is then held down firmly with the left thumb and first finger. First, bring your needle up through the dot. Second, wrap your thread around the needle once, twice, or more, depending on the size you want to make. Third, turn the needle, then pull it through the back. Make sure you're continuing to hold with your left. The lazy daisy stitch is a series of single or detached chain stitches formed around with a center point. It is commonly used to create simple embroidery flowers since it has a loopy petal effect to it. First, bring your needle up through the point of the pointed edge of your shape. Second, take your needle and go back down through the same hole. Third, bring your needle up through the end of the curved end. Then make sure it goes to the inside of the loop. Last, you're going to just a tiny little bit forward from the hole you just came out just to secure the end.
is an embroidery stitch made up of a diagonal blanket stitches which zigzag from left to right. Feather stitch steps. Step 1. Take the needles out of the point from beneath the poppy. Step 2. Keep the thread beneath the needle and pull the thread up. And the last step, step 3, finally, you can end the design by bringing the thread down outside of the stitch and secure the thread beneath the poppy. Fishbone stitch. Fishbone stitch is a kind of filling stitch which is ideal for making leaves or feathers. It requires to divide as the pattern into two and each side is felted alternately, giving it a plaited effect in the center. Thus ideal to make leaves or feathers. Fishbone stitch steps. Step 1. Start the vein. Bring your needle and thread out at point near the top of the design. Then put the needle through the point to make a single small straight stitch. Step 2. Point of leaf. Bring the needle out of the point, close to the first incision and along the outline. Step 3. Start crossing over. Cross the needle on the right side of the center line. And then the last step, repeat. Repeat all the way down the leaf.
Satin stitch. It is a long straight embroidery stitch closely placed parallel to similar stitches, giving the appearance of satin. For the satin stitch, go up on the lower part and go directly across the top. For your second stitch, go back to the bottom edge a tiny bit away from your first stitch and go directly across back to the top edge. Continue to make vertical stitches across your shape. Remember to always start on the bottom edge and end up on the top edge. The satin stitch is perfect for completely filling small shapes. Seed stitch. It is a series of tiny straight stitches or back stitches taken at all angles and in any direction. The seed stitch is made up of just a bunch of tiny stitches filling up an area. So to do that, we're just gonna bring our needle up through the back of our work and then just take a short stitch at any direction you would like to go. The key to this one is to kind of keep it as random as possible. Bring your needle up, bring the needle down. The hardest part is just trying to make them all in random directions. So just keep doing that until you had filled up the entire area of little seed stitches. You can also choose to make all of your stitches in the same direction. And that's how you do a seed stitch.
Chain stitch. Chain stitch is a sewing and embroidery technique in which series of loop stitches from a chain-like pattern. Start with a tiny single stitch, just a couple of millimeters. Come up a stitch length away. Pass your needle through your original tiny stitch, saying this side of the fabric. And go back down to the hole last came up through. This is the first link in your chain. Continue, come up another stitch length away. Pass your needle under previous stitch. Then back in the same hole. Then repeat. Chain stitch. Back stitch. A stitch sewn 1 stitch length backward on the front side and 2 stitch length forward on reverse side to form a solid line of stitches on both sides. A. Bring the thread A and take it through B create. Bring the thread C to take it in B. This way we're creating stitch by taking threads backward. There is no space between stitches, giving a continuous appearance, much stronger than running stitches.
Fly stitch. A fly stitch is a basic surface embroidery stitch that you can work singly as a scatter filling or in rows. First step, we need a needle and yarn. Before we start the stitches, I draw the pattern with the use of ruler and pencil. Fly stitch. The second is stem stitch. Stem stitch is a
process of handkerchief embroidery hand stitches and will apply these 10 hand stitches.
So this is the final look for the embroidery hand stitches. And this is our choice to put some designs. And in the back, I put a lining to cover. This is the French knot stitch, that violet, light violet. This is the fly stitch. As you can see, this is the color green. This is the lazy daisy stitch. The whole lazy daisy is red, and some of them, this orange is half. I designed it as a half lazy daisies. Next is the fishbone stitch. This green and the light green. This also is a fishbone stitch. And this is the chain stitch. So I decided to put here because as a stem of the flower. And I put here the seed stitch because this is a full flower. The feather stitch as a stem too. And next is, this is the back stitch. And I designed it as stem too. And the grass as a back stitch. And this is the stem stitch as the stem of the flower, the lazy daisy. And this round is the satin stitch.